Non-compliance has become a watchword as communities across America fight back against the destruction of civil liberties.
The oath of office as a city council person is to defend and uphold the Constitution against all enemies, domestic and foreign. And it's time to take back the government from an executive branch that is running berserk.
Dave Meserve sponsored a resolution making Arcata, California a civil liberties safe zone from the Patriot Act.
If the police are requested by federal agents to participate in a search or an arrest procedure that they perceive to be possibly unconstitutional, then it is incumbent upon them under our ordinance to refuse to cooperate at that time and to immediately notify the council that they've been asked to do that. What we need to do is band together in states, in municipalities, and say, not in our town, you don't enforce these unconstitutional laws.
Fear strikes really close to home. It is a local issue. And we've had quite enough of it in this community since the Patriot Act was passed. I would submit to you, the Eugene City Council, that courage is the antidote to fear. And I really urge you to have the courage to pass this resolution of the Lane County Bill of Rights Defense Committee, which opposes the portions of the Patriot Act that are against the Constitution, that are against our rights under the Bill of Rights.
You can say to yourself, well, it's not going to affect me. I don't have any political dissident views. It's not going to affect me. I'm not an immigrant. It's not going to affect me. I'm not going to be investigated by the state or the police. It's not going to affect me. I'm not going to be a subject to any searches or seizures. Throughout our histories, that sort of philosophy has not really made America move forward. It has held America back. With that philosophy, certain people would be interned. Oh God, certain people are about to become interned.
Motion carries unanimously.
Now, 4 states and more than 300 municipalities have joined the cities of Arcata and Eugene in passing resolutions against the Patriot Act.
We were very amused by comments from Justice Department spokesman who says that obviously federal law trumps local law. If the federal government would like to come and say that somehow they are going to make us withdraw our ordinance, to quote our presidents, I say bring them on.
We've always thought of ourselves as the city on the hill, the model for democracy that we would like to disseminate throughout the world. And yet, by our actions after September 11, we have destroyed that model.
The designation of enemy combatants, the hold until cleared policy, the disregard of the Geneva Convention, the infiltration of groups and First Amendment activities, all of that happened without Congress's say-so input and without a public debate about whether or not the government was going too far, too fast.
This is not an issue of the left and the right. This is an issue of our basic freedoms.
I was blind, but now I see.
Some of our values aren't written in paper, but have been established and grown through our history. And the intangible values that make America great and have the presence around the world that it does and be looked to as a leader. We need to stick to those intangible values as well.
The United States really is different from other countries. We're not like France or England or Japan. We're not bound together by a common race or a common religion. What binds this country together are our principles. Most importantly, democracy, fairness, and the rule of law.
The American public has to remind itself not just what it is that we're fighting against, but what are we fighting for? That these core values that define us as a country are what make us strong as a nation. They're not our weakness.